Awesome. So I
All
just
right, good
responded. We'll see what
morning.
he
All
does.
right, here we are. Happy Friday, Facebook Friday.
Facebook Friday. Let me get myself in order here. There we go. See my camera. See it live. My favorite time of the week, a Facebook Friday. Hello, Jay.
I know, we missed last
Most of
Friday.
not only did we miss last Friday, and by the way, kudos to Kate, because I think she did an excellent job, and our guest Mark from OPA. They were on point, and it was a wonderful conversation. And Kate is very adept at this. So you and I better keep sharpening our game, or we're going to find ourselves replaced. And when you have the production behind the scene, you have somebody like Yvonne that's making things move. It's fluid and it's good. But no, I missed you. We'll talk a little bit about where you were, if you don't mind, and kind of what you did. I'd love to hear more about that, because believe it or not, to the viewership, this is the second time I've seen Jay this week. That's it, because it's been so busy. All I can see is the smoke trail from her shoes, because she's running from place to place, or this negotiation, that negotiation, this listing. We were talking base about something coming up today. I know she's busy for it. I'm going to take the meeting. And she's like, yeah, but I'm over involved with Hills listing something. I'm like, okay, just another one, just another pop. Here goes a listing. So anyway, that's Heyler Realty, and it's what we do, and it's what brings the show to all of you. It's an idea of what can we do to be community advocates, to connect people, because in this time of information about what we need to do socially and responsibly, and what your liberties are. I mean, it's just all up in there. So we're just like, hey, let's be a voice of reason and let's be connected. So I'm happy to see you, my dear friend Jay Wu, on a Friday morning.
Well, the great thing is that we have friends from all over the country, and that referral for another listing came from an agent of one of the brokers I know out in Utah, because she's moving back. And that's a lot of what we've been seeing are folks relocating to different parts of the country, or even county of Los Angeles or to Ventura, et cetera. And, she's going through a divorce, unfortunately, and needs to sell and so forth. And so we went through the consultation. But, there's transitions that are happening every single day. And I keep reminding myself, as well as everyone we help in real estate, every day is a different day, and we are uniquely one of one. And real estate is just like that. Every single day, every single situation, every single property is one of one, unique to itself, with different characteristics and outcomes and unpredictability. And so we have to stay on our toes, because you never know what's going to happen next, right? So all we can do
it's actually,
we are, promote what we do in taking care of people, putting our best foot forward, and giving our best every day. If that's all we can put, and the outcome, it is what it is. That, so.
Well, I think that's also part of it. Part of the message, Jay, is exactly that. Every situation unique, every day unique. It's true in a lot of different ways, but in our particular field, because there's so much strategy and psychology and stress and anxiety and legalities and things to really navigate, and the complexity, it's super easy. It's a lot of work, but you also have timing is timing. You can get up and go. So more about that later. We have some really exciting guests to share today, don't we?
Yeah, we're excited to have our favorite types of people, small business owners, put their blood, sweat, and tears into, obviously, the business that they have. They have a beautiful store right here on Pico, a block from our office on the south side of Pico. And, this time of year is shopping time. And so what better opportunity? You tend to learn a little bit more about a newest member of the Pico Boulevard Small Business Committee. And we're going to have Jill, the owner, and her coworker Lee join us this morning. Let's bring them in so we can say hi and talk to them and see what they're up to, and find out a little bit more about their beautiful store. Good morning, Lee. How are you? And I think we're waiting for Jill's phone to connect. In this day and age of Zoom, of course, people are zooming about, and I think that's why they call it Zoom. We know that Jill's trying to join from on the road, but We've got Lee Hero stationery, and look at her beautiful background. Look at that. If that's not a visual art of what's happening
I
at
see
their
Jill.
store, yes. And look at her beautiful scarf too, gorgeous. You guys have great taste, obviously, and very gifted, which that's the name of the store, gifted, right?
Exactly. Can you hear me? Am I being heard?
Yes,
I hear you.
Awesome.
I hear you
Great,
well.
great. Thank you for your patience and understanding. I'm sorry, I'm in the desert driving to Phoenix to visit my mom who's not well. So I apologize for the.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Sorry to hear
Thank you.
that.
But thank you for doing this. We really appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Well, as we were saying in our intro, we are big fans, being small business owners ourselves, and the community has been so amazing to us in supporting our efforts of wanting to make an impact and difference in the world, as well as in our immediate community. And we feel that you guys, with your beautiful aesthetics, I mean, I'm an analytic, so I can't create these visual effects that you guys do, but I sure love seeing and shopping it, and I love it when other people create it. So tell us a little bit about your curated gifts in the store and when you guys opened, and give us a little background here.
Okay, Lee, I'll start because I might lose connectivity, so let me get it in while I can.
Great. Go ahead.
So Gifted opened on Pico about 3 months ago. We were previously in a location on South Beverly Drive as a pop-up, and the concept has been in existence for some time, for a few years. It started as a concierge gift business and then turned into a brick and mortar storefront, which is like the realization of a long time dream of mine. And the timing is obviously very less than ideal given the pandemic and so much social and racial upheaval. But it's been interesting because I really have come to identify with and understand what independent store owners are dealing with and how difficult it is to stay afloat in this climate. You know, I'm appreciative of the internet for allowing us to do this, for example, and for so many of the things it affords, but it really is making independent retailers and neighborhood businesses lives really difficult. It's almost impossible to succeed when you're competing against, you know, big companies like Amazon. So I'm really committed to it. I feel like it's a bit of a public service at the moment, more than a
profitable business. Yeah,
profitable business. Yes, but I am committed to it because I don't want to live in a neighborhood where we don't have cute stores to walk into. I don't want to live in a world where we can't, talk to the people who we're buying things from and tell them the stories about who we're buying gifts for. And I think that human connection is extremely important now more than ever. So that's the motivation behind Gifted. And even though the timing seems less than ideal, it's just further encouraging me to stick with it.
So well said.
Well, I mean, first of all,
in line with what we believe as well. It's a labor of love. It really is a labor of love, blood, sweat, and tears, and our life that we give to, be a part of a community, to stay connected, to engage with other people, and that's first and foremost. And then the rest is hopefully we can, make a living too, and continue to be the pass through, so we can continue to make an impact in the world around us. So we believe the same thing, Jill. That's really well said. Sean, you were going to say?
First of all, I would love it that all the viewership take notes for a moment of where their store is located. So lady go, because we really believe in that this is the lifeblood, that connectivity, the interaction safely and responsibly, but the idea of like, hey, let's be the change that we want to see. Let's not be fearful. Let's not be afraid. Let's be forward. And so I think it's really important that everybody think about sharing this type of message and supporting these businesses, because you have a tremendous act of bravery. This is courage, and it deserves to be rewarded as an opinion.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, you've got something that's important for people. No, it is. It's like, hey, but there are the rewards in that, right? When everyone else is going one way and you step in a different way, that's bold, and fortune favors the bold. And so I really believe in this is an important message. This message is more about how we can regain normalcy, in this new world that we've entered into, the new way of being. So I wanted you ladies to please share your address.
Thank you.
Share your address, share your website. We need to hear about it. And I'm asking all the viewers, whoever they may be, to share it similarly. The power of this medium is its viral connectivity, right? So it's important to me too.
Thank you.
For a myriad of reasons,
so
mostly because you made my wife happy the other day.
Well, visually it is quite
you.
a treat though to go on their website and to see their curated gifts. Jill, you were going to give the address, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, it's 10590 West Pico. The website is www.giftedla.com, and we're on Instagram at gifted.la. So we're on Pico, next door to Coal and Ice, another independent retailer who I hope everyone will support. And initially we didn't really have a shoppable website because the whole concept was we were trying to be a storefront that was the alternative to the internet. That was not realistic to not have a shoppable website in this climate. So we've invested a lot of effort into it, and it's still very personal. I hope. I hope that it feels different than shopping on a very anonymous website. Like the ones that are just out there. We make it very clear that if you don't see exactly what you're looking for, please reach out. We're here to help. It's our desire to help you find precisely what you want. A lot of the gifts that are on there right now are very thoughtfully curated to respond to the way people are living these days. People are not traveling like they used to. So any travel related gifts are focused on maybe a road trip, like a national park themed gift, and a lot of gifts that are a lot of gifts that are focused on wellness. Acknowledging that families are spending a lot of time at home, and not having the breaks from each other that they might have needed, and not being able to go out to do the things that they normally do to take care of themselves. And a lot of gifts that focus on creativity. People are looking for ways to be creative and productive. So our collection has shifted because of what's the world we're living in. How like executive gifts that are not just fruit baskets that people get year after year, but executive gifts that really give a message of wishing someone a new year that is one of wellness and creativity and family well-being. So
there's some great stuff when it comes to like bar
I was going to say
alcohol and cheese platters and
well, we were sharing the same thought. That's exactly what I was like. Alcohol. That's definitely working.
So even that is funny. Even that is funny to mention. Like we do sell cheese boards, but now we have some really small, cute ones because we're not having as many people over. But you still want to have a lovely cheese board. So we're responding.
Wow, you really think things out, Jill. That's pretty impressive. Yes, Lee, you were going to say?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, we have basically anything you could want to keep you busy at home and enjoy time with your small family and maybe a friend.
Right, exactly.
And the beauty is, and the beauty is I think you can monogram it and personalize it. Is there
so many of the gifts
folks who do that before the holidays?
So many of our gifts can be personalized. Some take a couple days, some take longer, but we will work with you to find exactly what's right and come up with a personalized gift for certain.
Right.
So
if you
I would like to
that you like, but maybe you need a different price point, especially with our curated gifts. We can source that for you. So we have not just personalizing items, but also personalizing a gift for you that fits your needs specifically. So I feel like it adds a lot more than just a general website because we are there in person and we can find things for you. And there's a lot of back and forth to get you exactly what you want.
Oh.
I was going to add to that first of all, and Lee, thank you for bringing that up, because the curating part it's almost like you're spy versus spy, like you're being able to do detective work to find and resource these things for people. So it's exciting. So if somebody's really coming up with a vision, I have a family member who's very extravagant in his gift giving, and he likes things that are not easily found and out of the box. And I can go, hey, go to Gifted. You can go to the store if you want. You can go on their website if you want, or you can just call them and say, hey, I want something XYZ and that's never been seen. And what I can say is, they have the wherewithal to hunt that resource down, and they know what they're doing about it. And that's rare. That's really cool. So when you think about like a standard gift and a thoughtful gift is one idea, but a gift that is personalized, that is reflective of thought. I'm thinking about this person. And that's a specialty, and that's a real niche. And I love the fact that when I think about where you are on Pico, where I think of you where you are on Pico, is it's these, because there's just a couple stores like you, right? There's just two or three that are really specialized, but they're treasures. They're literally treasure stores. Like you can walk in and go, oh, I haven't seen that, or this is fantastic. I know if it appeals to my wife, and I know her standards, I'm like, oh no, this is good stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
Maybe
I
that's
really
questionable.
do. I appreciate.
We have like Children's Book World, we have Colon Ice, and now we have Gifted. So we've got that trio of specialty kind of boutique
and I think
shops.
we all help each other. You know, I mean, my kids grew up at Children's Book World. I adore that store so much.
Me too.
And I, you know, the goal is to help each other. You know, I've you know, some people who come in with the gifts they bought, the books they bought at Children's Book World, and they need us to maybe just wrap them for them beautifully, which we're happy to help with. Or they bought something at Children's Book World, you know, a cute little book that they want to pair with some other baby gifts that we're happy to pair with and package together. So we're all about collaborating and just helping people, you know, do nice things for each other.
Oh, that's so great. And where do you guys curate, or how do you guys even shop your products?
Where do we get them from?
No, I mean, how do you go through the process of
is it
shopping yourself to bring to the store?
Gotcha. So for me, it was relatively easy to get going because I really exist in the world as a shopper. When I travel, I experience a city by finding those independent little stores and finding unique things that you don't see anywhere else. So I had in mind already a lot of things that I knew I would want to carry whenever I embarked on this. I look to sell products and to source things from companies that have values that I respect and admire. Companies that are owned, you know, minority owned or women owned, or support some kind of other social good or environmental agenda. I love to buy things that are made in America, but I also like to buy things that are made in small villages, you know, that have fair trade labor. So it's a lot of different places. Lee, how many places would you say we buy from? I mean, a ton. What do you think, Lee? A lot.
It's over 150 places, I would say.
Wow.
So, which I don't think is typical. Like, I think most stores probably have, you know, a few vendors and they keep it that way. But that's like for better or worse. It's not for better financially, but it's for better for me. Like, it keeps me engaged and happy. I'm constantly looking for like a better one or a more interesting one or a different one. So we don't, we never settle. We never settle.
Well, and what a great, we get to be the recipient of your passion and your creativity and your unique eye and your sensibility. And it's so nice to hear. I didn't know this about you, Jill, and what you stand for, and to know that that is something I can really stand behind, because you're just like us. We want to make the world a better place with the passions that we have. And the fact that you are very socially conscious as well as environmentally conscious about the world, that's like a whole next generation, right? That's like the future. And hopefully people can really look to know that when they're, and have the peace of mind to know when they shop there, that they're making the world a better place, actually. And not only bringing a bright smile to someone else that receives it, but the fact that they're paying forward something really good. That's amazing.
You know, my background is in education. I have a master's in education. I have a master's in social work. And so all of that comes through in what I do in terms of what I buy and my feeling about the values gifts have in, you know, in people's relationships. But I also have to give credit to my 18-year-old daughter, who is very progressive and really keeps me doing right. Like, I would anyway, because I care to. But for example, on our website, you'll see that we don't have a collection called a men's collection, because my daughter has taught me that there is more than just women and men. So my collection that I think is traditionally men's is called the masculine collection, because anyone can want masculine items, not just a biologically male person. So we really are cutting edge, and a lot of that credit goes to my daughter Maya.
It's true, because it's not a he or a she, it's they, right? And so
I'm learning this all. I'm almost 50, yeah, and I'm learning it all. But we really try and take just the changing world into.
Right. Exactly. Well, that is the future, right? And that's where we're headed. And to be conscious and aware of the rights of other human beings, and at the end of the day, that's what everybody is, just human beings.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And we're either aware or oblivious. And so to be aware, and with knowledge comes responsibility, and ignorance is bliss, as they say, but I would say not bliss in a good way. So Lee, I think that Jill kind of dropped off there video-wise.
No,
she might still
she's
be on
in and out.
audio.
It's okay.
Certain sections.
That's why I'm here. I'm just a backup today, just in case.
Well, that can explain why.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me though? I know you can't see me, but can you hear me?
We can hear you, Jill. You're still with us.
Okay.
See
Sorry.
you now. I know you.
Sorry.
The power of Zoom, the fact that you're on your way to Phoenix, Lee is over on Pico, and we're all kind of not in the same room, but we can still stay connected. And that's the beauty of these live shows. I have to say, anything can happen, and it is what it is. Technology is our friend, but it also can be our foe. So we just got to roll with it, like everything else. What is a tip you can give us on how to find that perfect gift for a loved one? Because I think there is no real holiday anymore, or any days anymore, and so it's all kind of blending. We already put our tree up, and it hasn't even Thanksgiving isn't even here. So.
Right. I think I think a lot of people just don't feel like they have it in them to do what they usually do for the holidays, and I understand that completely. And I would say, even more so, we have to bring it this year. I mean, these kids whose lives have been upended deserve Christmas and Hanukkah more than ever. And I have a child who's supposed to have a bar mitzvah in January, and I'm giving his peers like the best bar mitzvah gifts ever, because there's so much loss for these people, for everybody, that gifts mean so much these days. So that's the first thing that's my plug for, not giving up on holiday gifting this year. But in terms of finding the perfect gift, that's what we're here for. And the more information you give us, the better we can help you. And we want to hear it. Like, I want to know about your sister-in-law who is, just finishing treatment for cancer and really loves, a certain kind of cuisine, or your husband who has a passion for boating but hasn't been able to partake in that hobby. Like, I want to know, and I'm going to help you find a gift that really feels right for that person. So
one of the comments online right now is like, can she come to the store right now and pick up that Ruth Bader Ginsburg cross stitch?
Yes, I believe we only have a couple left. Those are really hard to keep in stock, but if she Lee, are you in the store?
Emma is in the store, but we are available. So.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
Lee is, that backdrop is virtual too, but someone is in the store, and we're happy to put it aside for her.
I was going to say, if you see a red Volvo station wagon coming up, its tires are screeching in front of your store, it's going to be my mother-in-law who's going to go out and buy all of those and gift them to every person
so
she
cute.
knows. And she will be there in T-3 minutes.
We have an extensive
ask
RBG collection, very extensive.
Yeah, those are really cool.
And we did before she died too, by the way. We've had that collection for a while. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, amazing.
I was going to ask, while you guys are curating and you're looking, you must have had some very exotic or entertaining or surprising types of gifts that people have asked you. Give us an example or two of kind of bizarre or crazy gifts that you've been able to curate.
Good question.
Do you have anything come to mind?
It is a good question. Bizarre or crazy gifts?
Or creative or something just out
Creative. Sure.
of the box where people
Lee,
go, wow,
anything come to
that's-
mind? Or Lee, I can come up. Anything come to your mind, Lee?
You have so many creative gifts. I mean, there's a lot
Okay.
that comes to mind. It just
Yeah.
but you've
So
been doing
I
this a lot longer than me.
I'll give you a favorite. Somebody came in and said, "I'm so excited. My friend
There
just
you go.
got citizenship," and so we have this beautiful blanket. I found them this beautiful blanket that is an American flag in modern colors, and it says "Dreamers Welcome" on it. So it's just,
that's just
I love
giving
the
me
message.
goosebumps.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, you can find it on the website. But I mean, what perfect gift for somebody who just got citizenship during this current political climate? A soft blanket that
Yeah.
speaks to their like literal dreams and their figurative dreams. So that's, I don't know that that's unusual, but I'm proud of that one. So
That's beautiful. What a great, I mean,
Well, no, that's
really
a great
complimentary.
example. That's a great example.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I'm excited. Shop Business Saturday is November 28th. Small businesses, shop them. And we
Yeah.
have a great community here. Let's keep it onboarded and let's keep them open. Let's support them. I know that between Twitter and social media, some of these shops that really have been struggling because they were just standing up for what they believe in, and people coming in and being rude or mean and so forth, and different parts of, I've been seeing it on the news, and the community really cares. People really care about other people. And I think now more than ever, we could just all band together and help each other, support each other,
Yes.
And what else have we spent our money on this year? Frankly, I mean,
That's right.
the
That's
amount
right.
of
You're not going
not
anywhere.
dining out I haven't done, I haven't been in a mall or a store and so forth. I mean,
Right.
the only shopping I did was at Coal and Ice. I finally visited them this year and got some amazing things right before I went to Jackson Hole this summer, and I'm excited to visit you guys and check out the store. I've been kind of perusing online and really fascinated with your amazing taste. I mean, seriously, it's unique. It's aesthetically beautiful. It's kitschy, but it kind of lands in all the right little places. I'm like,
thank you.
Great.
Well, your aesthetic, that's a compliment coming from you, because your backdrop is magnificent. So you have, I share your aesthetic. So thank you.
Well, we deal with aesthetics every day, right? Thousands of houses a month, and viewing and touring and seeing unique things, and definitely we want to have some monogram things that we can curate for our customers when they have this amazing closing when they get into their new home, which is always such a gift as well.
Beautiful.
That we get to give to them. So we're excited to kind of collaborate and create that for our future as well.
We are too.
And work on that. And we just been, frankly, so we have just been so slammed that we haven't had the opportunity to kind of figure out what kinds of things we need to do to also be the gift giver, as well as doing the labor part of what we've been doing to help people reach their goals. And so I know that we're going to get there very soon. But we know you're on the road.
Whenever you're ready. Yep, whenever you're ready, we're here. I just want to say like two things before we close.
Yeah, please. If there's anything you'd like to share before we wrap.
So one is,
please.
to just to your viewers out there, when you're thinking about things you need these days, it's so easy to just go online and to buy it from one of these places. But you can also find your local bike shop and your local bookshop and your local wine store and call them and say, are you open these days? And can I buy it online, give you my credit card and swing by, and can you put it in my car safely? So we can still support businesses safely. And then when we're out of this pandemic, we'll have stores that we can go into again if we all work together in this way. I know it might take a little more time to not buy it with one click, but in the process, you'll speak to someone on the phone, you'll connect, you'll help support a family. It's a win-win. It really, really is. And as we look towards what's coming this week, I guess, with stay-at-home orders, and who knows what this is going to look like for retailers, If you are able to come into our store and shop, we'd love it. It's super safe. We're welcoming in 1 to 2 people at a time. Hopefully we can continue to do that, but if we can't, we're happy to put you on FaceTime and shop with you in the store, and you can pick it up curbside.
There's a solution.
Yeah, oh yeah, we did a lot of FaceTime shopping in the spring, so we'll respond any way we can, just to try and keep this personal and help people give more gifts. That's
fantastic. I love it. Love it.
Thank
fantastic.
you. I love what you're
Jill.
doing. I really appreciate what you're doing. I really do.
Well, we love our fellow peeps. I tell you, we love our community. We love what, we love where we've been. Sean is 3rd generation local, raised right here in the West Side. And, I've been out here for 27 years and my entire adult life. And I so value and appreciate the friendships and the community and seriously, the enrichment that connecting with other people have created in our lives. And frankly, the more we give, the more we get in return.
No question.
Yes, our lives are forever enriched. And, Sean and our path and journey is really more towards legacy than anything else. And what is our dash? What do we leave behind? And so if we can keep one day at a time, just making an impact and doing good for others, see, it already makes me teary thinking about our legacy. That is what it's all about, right?
Unless you didn't.
I know. I get so darn sappy, but I really value connecting with others who have the same mentality. And so, safe travels, Jill. Hope your mom and you get to see her.
Thank you.
Sorry to hear she's not
so
well.
much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for being the rock star backup girl. And it's been beautiful to see that background.
You did a good job. Thank you.
Gorgeous. I'm really excited to visit.
Lee is a rock star in every way, shape, and form.
We could tell.
We could Lee tell. Is not for sale. Lee is not for sale, but none of this could be without Lee. She's the best thing that's happened to me since I opened this business.
Yay, Lee.
Happy to be here.
Oh, you guys are great. Well, Shop Business Saturdays coming up, but you don't have to wait until next after Thanksgiving to shop, because there are ways that you can go at it now. My sister's birthday is actually November 28th, which is Shop Business Saturday, Shop Small Business Saturday. So I know I gotta figure that out too. So
gifted. It's an easy thing to figure out.
Come by.
Exactly.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Jill. All right, have a good
weekend, everybody. Take good care. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Woo. Yes. It's funny how random things always just hit me right here. And I can feel the struggle, I can feel the passion and the struggle, and it's a lot. It's pretty intense,
Well, it's intense when you feel it, and it's intense because you know it to be true. And it's because you have empathy and you have compassion, and you look like a person on fire who's very busy doing a lot of things. But all of us that know you understand that the real motivation in you is the continuance and the creation of more love and connectivity with others. And you recognize in a business like that, the struggle, we know the struggle. We understand what it's like to get thin, and it's a little frightening, and you're like, gosh, this thing has changed. And that's why I think, I love that phrase, fortune favors the brave or the bold. And I think it's Goethe that basically said it, in I'm paraphrasing it poorly, but it's essentially like, look, you're putting the forces with you when you're courageous. It's kind of like, let's shift this and not be in a state of reactive. Let's be proactive in our own care and our own career and our own pathways. And you relate to it, Jay. That's just simple. It's important to people to understand it. And you emote because it's that part of you that says, I got you, sisters. I see what you're doing. I know that battle. I fought a long time to get to where I am. You've actually realized your vision. You created it in your mind. You imagined it, and then you created it. And God bless it. If I can do anything to do with it, I'm going to help promote it and support you, because I respect that creation. You've made the place, the world, Pico Boulevard, our neighborhood, a better place by simply being here. That's how I view it, at least.
Yeah, no, that's really well said, Sean, and it's so true. And I think right now more than ever, everybody has had to go through and see through other people's perspectives and have that see-through vision, and to know that we're all struggling. We're not, they're not struggling on their own. We're all in this together. How can we pull each other out of it together? How can we make an impact and keep and preserve what we can in the normalcy of what we hopefully can have in the near future? And so I think that all of that to say that every single day we're just making the impact towards good, away from evil, helping those that also, and collaborating with others that have the same values and beliefs that we do. And that's what I love, is who we've been able to connect with week in and week out, because it's fascinating. Okay, here's a store, didn't really relate to it, but once we connect with the people and what they're about and what they stand for, then there's a true understanding on an emotional and intelligent level what they're trying to accomplish. It's pretty fascinating. So
it's that common ground, right? That's what we're seeking, common ground, and relating to your point. And it's interesting too, because I was sharing this with one of my kids the other day. I think it was Juliet, because we got in a really heated, long conversation late at night. It was wonderful. And for those of you viewers know, my daughter Juliet is beyond a brainiac. The kid takes theoretical math at UCLA because they can't offer it in high school. She's out there with super high powered thinking, and she's really coming into it much like Jill just shared about her daughter. Like, here's this perspective, Dad. This is the new world. It's how people identify themselves. It's different. I understand that's where you were, but that's not where we are. And the idea is we need to come together, right? So we're having this really intense conversation. And I said to her, I go, here's the thing that you need to understand. Whenever you stand in judgment, you're not recognizing that everybody suffers. I don't care how much money you have or how much physical health you have or how much love and family you have. It doesn't matter. The human condition has suffering innately baked into it. It is what we do. It's a struggle from day one to the day we expire. I think it was Malcolm X who really talked about that, from conception to death. It's a struggle. And it's true. We go through life, and sometimes the path is clear and it's rainbows and it's rosy and it's beautiful. And other times it's rocky and painful and it has suffering involved with it. But everybody does. There's nobody immune to it. Oh, they may look like something different, but the fact is they're not. They are struggling. And taking that time to be compassionate, to relate to somebody at that level, and recognizing and honoring them. Listen, their opinion is exactly that. And their opinion is sovereign. It's theirs. You don't own it. It's theirs. Oh, you may disagree in principle with something, but okay, that's you standing in judgment. That's for you. That's not for them. And you have to honor and respect that to a large degree. And I think that's where we've lost some civility and some polite and reasonable discourse, where we can discuss things and recognize other people and give them that space to be themselves. So what I love is that this little format allows us to give other people space. Like, hey, let's bring in Gifted. Let's bring in Colon Ice. Let's bring in an emergency room doctor. Let's bring in the American Cancer Society. Let's just bring everybody that we connect to and say, hey, let's all share what you see and what your experience is. And what we heard this morning are these, especially in Jill, a passion for doing something different. She visualized it, she created it, and she's like, I even want to be counter to everything. We know this future is Amazon and drones. Oh my God, I don't know, you didn't get to hear this because you were at something that we're going to talk about, but Kate was talking about how on Main Street with her guest Mark from OPA, that you can order food and it will be delivered to you in a drone, like a robot.
What?
Yeah, the human beings out of the equation. So you could say, hey, I want to go get whatever the meal is over here, and it will be delivered to you by a robot off of Main Street. That's cray-cray. That's super nuts, right? That's the world we're evolving in. And here's Jill saying, hey, I understand the technology is a part of that world, but the human value, the contact, the store, the actual physical location is important to me. And so I love the idea that we can promote that and share that with people, and then really call to action and say, listen, everybody's here is having a hard time. You can see it up and down. Just pick a retail street from downtown Beverly Hills to downtown LA to Santa Monica, to where we are here in West LA and West Side, to Culver City. It's really hard, and it will promise to probably be harder for a while. It's not like this is just going away. We're dealing with the virus. We're dealing with possible cures and inoculations and things like that, which is a whole nother experience. But you're also talking about the whiplash of businesses having to shut down or limit what they can do and how they can do it. And you think of restaurants. I think of all my favorite restaurants, and I'm so fearful that they won't be able to hang on. And so it is imperative that if you love and support something, or you love a place and you really treasure it, you recognize it as a value, maybe stretch that a little bit to help support them, whether it be a John O'Groats or Marty's Food, LA, or Atticus Pies, whomever it may be. Just make that little extra effort, because that effort will go a really long way to helping perpetuate the bigger vision of we're in this together. And I think that's really what the ultimate message is. So I'll get off my stump now.
Well, I'm a little hopeful though, that we will be out of this sooner than later, in the sense where Bill Gates was on CNN yesterday, and he had some really positive thoughts on the vaccine. And obviously they need to create 100 and I think it was 30 billion to have herd immunity and to get the vaccinations out. But it seems like there are multiple paths that every single day, more and more advances are happening. And so I feel like in real estate, every day is a new day. I feel like in the world of COVID and vaccinations, there's a glimmer of hope every single day that something miraculous will happen. And maybe that's a Pollyanna in me, but my wish is that, we keep thinking it and willing it to happen, and that it does, and that we'll never be back to the way we were. We may all be safer and cleaner than we ever were before. If we all continue to practice the way we have been, and the consciousness of cleanliness, that's not a bad thing. But to feel that we can maybe make some transitions and changes. So I have to say, getting about a couple of times this year, going to Jackson Hole back in July, and now flying for the second time this year during COVID up to Sonoma to meet up with 14 other owners of boutique real estate companies in North America. Unfortunately, I only had an hour and 15-minute flight, and I had my face mask on, and I even bought a shield for the flight just to make sure that, I have a second layer of protection, had on hand sanitation and gloves and so forth whenever I touched anything. So it was an hour and 15 minutes. Airport felt pretty safe, very, very quiet. So less people. There were maybe 21 people on the flight. So
Wow.
Pretty unbelievable small. And, my friend's husband for my 50th upgraded us to first class on our 1 hour and 15-minute flight. So we were right there in row number 2, 3 people in first class. So I felt very shielded. There wasn't really anybody around us. And it was a lovely, pleasant experience. I mean, some of the folks flew in from Pennsylvania, Salina, Kansas. Those are not easy places to fly out of when they're very minimal flights. Utah, you name it. So there were owners of other companies, and that's the beauty of a boutique company like ours, is we also have friends all across North America that are also running their own boutique real estate companies as well.
Right.
And across the board, they're all experiencing what we're experiencing, which is that the home and people's need and wish to find a home right now is greater than ever. I mean, the market's up 30%. So there are people just vying for a home. And the article I read yesterday is that we're having continued demand right now, and frankly, lack of inventory. And so it's more people wanting to get into a home and less people transitioning out of a home. And thus we have this skewed demand to inventory. And it's always supply and demand when it comes to real estate, as well as the location of the inventory, because that exists in real estate, location, because it really has everything to do with what the demand will be for that product. And so It's been pretty intense being out in the field, every single day. Thank you so much for giving me those few days to be immersed in that experience with my business coach and really collaborating with other owners on what their experiences are in North America. And whether it's, San Diego, whether it's Utah, whether it's Pennsylvania, Arizona, they're all across the board just seeing an increase in activity. It has been a very frenetic 5 months, except for the rental market and some condo market. Single family homes though are just in high demand. So that's been across the board. And the great thing about staying connected with so many other people in different parts of the country is we always have a pulse on what's about to happen, what's happening elsewhere, et cetera. And everybody tested before they went, which is great. We got to be, in with other people. It was amazing to connect with folks I haven't seen in over a year. And we normally get together every 90 days. And so we finally kind of all just said, okay, enough is enough. Let's everybody just be safe, get here safely, test, make sure you're all good. It's kind of like being in the bubble in the NBA. Everybody test, don't get in contact with anybody else, be safe, stay in the house, don't go anywhere else. We didn't dine out. We had someone bring in food every day. So it was just like, just stayed in the bubble, had a brainstorm powwow session, and really just had a chance to connect about this past year, what's about to happen, transitions, et cetera, trends in our industry, and also, mentally readjusting and reorienting ourselves and our spirit and our inner selves, and really making those adjustments so that we are strong as we can be to help more people. So.
Well, I mean, I first of all, I love that intimate share, Jay. And I think what I've heard you say, well, let me just go back to the very beginning. Of course, you're more than welcome. You never need to thank me. It's actually me that thanks you, because this is that personal work that you do. This is that introspection, that's that reflection, and it's the collaboration. And you're tapping a dozen minds throughout the country that are experiencing similar things in different ways. And so once you do that, and then you are working with somebody who has dedicated his life to really understanding the neural pathways of mind and psychology and self-improvement. And so in that sense, it's a challenging. You are like not happy with the status quo. You're like, look, I can just sit and pedal and keep the same speed the whole time, but I might not get any more hills or valleys or slopes or adventures. And here, this is a personal journey. It's a personal adventure, and it's peeling away the layers that we become so callous to, the simple rhythms and things that we do that become habitual and routine. And sometimes you lose the meaning of the routine, and you lose the value of the simplicity. So that clarity, that personal work, and it's not easy work. It's reflective. It's actually often very painful, because it forces you to look inside and say, okay, where are the barriers? What am I masking? What am I using? What are the techniques? Am I using alcohol too much? Am I using exercise too much? Am I working too hard? Am I too industrious? Am I, where am I in this ebb and flow? And where do I allow others to be their highest and best organic self, right? Where they naturally are. How can I give them that permission to express themselves and to connect with me in a way where we're exchanging energy, we're transferring thought, we're transferring philosophy, we're actions and what works. And it also says, yes, it's been a very dynamic and in many cases scary or intimidating or frustrating or confusing. You can use all those adjectives, because I think all of us have experienced that in the case of 2020, which, in our lifetime, I'm going to say may go down as one of the very worst of the years. But there's something to be found here. There's real treasures. There is a gift in. There is a coal and ice. There is a message of hope. There is a message of do better because you know better. There is a message that technology is moving to the forefront. There is a technology of how do I find my place in the sun? How do I make that contribution? And so that work you do actually really, really resonates with me, and it's something I appreciate. So you never need to thank me. It's actually it's the reverse. It's me saying, hey, thank you for taking that time and being authentic and willing to do that work, because it's and I would recommend to most anybody, if you can find that space and time and you're willing to be that way, it's how you will evolve. You're going to get rid of the dead weight, and what remains is light and alive and dynamic. So I love it when you go away, not for that you're away, because I don't like it when you're away that way. I like it because I know what it does for you, and then ultimately what it does for others, including me. So you should know that, if I hadn't told you that before. And
well,
then you
we
of
do
course
have
come
some
back.
new. Yes.
Yeah, you
And
come
we
back,
come
and then all of a
back and
sudden
we
it's got new
have.
stuff, right? Oh, I got more to do, so here we go. Well, share a little bit. What's going on? You've been
We
busy,
do have a
busy,
great
busy.
great new lease listing that went on the market this morning, which is a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhome, actually right up the street on Parnell, and it's in
Where
the
you
Westwood
live.
Charter School District. Yes,
Mhm.
and it is almost 1,900 square foot, so it's a big space. And the beauty, side-by-side parking and tons of storage cabinets. So that's a rarity here in the West Side, to have side-by-side parking, not tandem, as well as storage cabinets. And gosh, this place is very spacious. So the nice end unit townhome lease listing is for $39.95 a month, so which is amazing.
That's a good price.
Easily,
That's a good price point. Good
yeah,
job on the
because
pricing.
it's bigger than most houses, and
Yeah.
and frankly, if in any other environment, it would probably rent for $5,000, but it's an amazing opportunity to get in at a steep discount right now.
Yeah.
And then we also have our Ocean Park condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1021 Hill Street. That's $775. We have that grand dam of a beautiful Spanish over on Commodore Slope for $1,995,000, and we're hopefully wrapping up soon on this cute little 1-bedroom, 1-bath on Overland Avenue in Culver City. So that is they were able to pass through the final negotiations on that one.
That was,
and
we're
then we have
working
that
with
beautiful,
a good agent.
yeah, 1,600 square foot 2-bedroom, 2-bath over in Brentwood
on
Sunset
Sunset,
Boulevard.
11901.
Mhm.
That's a
Yeah.
beautiful garden setting.
Mm.
That'll be a diamond for somebody when they understand what it is and what they can do with it and what it offers in terms of quality of life. It's a really pretty exceptional opportunity. But to your point, this part of our job is to promote it and to share it and make people aware of it. There are good alternatives and there are wonderful opportunities, in fact. And it is a good time to go ahead and purchase or make a transition or a change, largely because you can borrow, if you borrow, at rates that are we've never seen rates like this before.
I know.
Now, we've said that continually over the years, but they just keep
But
getting
this
better.
week, right, it's under 3%. I mean, it's the high 2s right now, so it's pretty
Yeah.
mind-boggling. And then, which is great opportunity for someone who wants to spend $3 million on your property at Ayers to get a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom, gorgeous modern farmhouse offered right
That
there as well, right?
that architectural, which has a floor plan that is just so smart and so progressive and incorporates both privacy and great natural light. So it's really hard to do that and give people a lot of interesting spaces, and the sight lines are very pretty. The aesthetics are gorgeous, in fact. And what's cool about that, to your point, is that we are able to, and it's important for the public to know, while we can't hold traditional open houses, we can hold hours or big windows where we tell people, like, look, we are going to be open or available to be able to show a property traditionally on a Sunday, where I will be from 2 to 4 over at 10720 Ayers, and set an appointment. It's easy. We've got a little form. We have a disclosure form. It's called a PED, or coronavirus addendum. It's essentially saying to people, we understand safe protocols. We'll be wearing masks. We can wear gloves. We have sanitizers. We have booties for your feet, so that you can really walk through somebody's house and not contaminate it, and then allow yourself to experience it, because it doesn't always translate. Even though we have got a great system for virtual showings, and we have them for great photography, and we have floor plans, and those are wonderful tools, there's something old-fashioned about walking into a store. There's the same idea of walking into a house and seeing it for itself. So Sunday, interestingly enough, I think I already have 5 appointments booked for Sunday. So I'm very happy about that. And it tells me that this type of house has the right kind of traction, not unlike Commodore Slope. Boy, that Commodore Slope, I can tell you every inch of that property, because we have been there a ton, and it feels like it's about ready just to go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, happy Thanksgiving, because that's coming up on Thursday, right? This coming
Yes, Thursday. I'm actually gonna run down to the desert probably on Tuesday
Oh, nice.
and be with my immediate family safely, and
Yeah.
just celebrate in a different environment. As you know, I've taken a run to Arizona for Charlie, and I've run to Nevada for Charlie because he plays high level competitive soccer. But really, I haven't had too much different space or scape. So I'm looking forward to, like, oh, there's my patio. There's a view of
Golf,
the mountains. Yeah, and just having a
outdoors,
outdoors. That'll be
yeah,
wonderful, actually. And of course, my wife,
and
which is
great
really
weather.
cool, super weather. Well, this time of year, this is the magic time of year. My wife, as many people know, is really a gourmet chef. She's a fantastic cook, and she's a gourmet caterer, really. And my sister-in-law, Kate, who's written, I don't know, 20, 22 cookbooks or something like that, similarly, and they're both cooking. So I'm not gonna see my nutritionist for about a month. Sorry, Dr. Golia. I lost your number for a month because I don't want to hear about it, because I'm going to enjoy myself.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, hey, we only live once, right? Might as well enjoy it. And this is the time of year to really enjoy some wonderful, amazing food. And you are the luckiest man alive. I tell you, you got Kate and Jill.
I'll tell you something super cool, and I know you'll appreciate this because you, as most people know, are very conscientious about how you eat, and you eat for both energy, but you also love flavor. You're a foodie, so you'll indulge, but really responsibly. You're actually sickening the way you do it. But Jill has a client who is really just practicing vegan, so she has learned these different meals, and I'm telling you, she's got a spaghetti squash meatless bolognese that'll just blow your mind. Like, I'm literally salivating thinking about it, and it feels so good to eat it. Like, the energy you
Yeah.
get is like, oh, it's light and I'm strong and let's go. And it's fabulous. So anyway, hopefully I'll get some of that in between. Maybe I should just cook that now, because when Thanksgiving comes, I'm going to lose control.
It's all state of mind. All state of mind. I love you, man. Thank you for everything.
Girl.
And yeah, we got a few days to go before Thanksgiving. Happy.
There we go.
Gobble, gobble.
Bye, everyone. See ya.